Good evening, everyone. Welcome to L. Donaldson Stadium at Bowling Green High School tonight. The Bowling Green Purples play host to the Warren Central Dragons. Certainly a big rivalry. These teams want to get at each other every time they get together. Bowling Green looks to have the upper hand heading into this one, however. They're 7-1 on the year, 4-0 in Region 1 play, and 1-0 so far in the district. Then they've got to still play Warren Central and Barron County. As for the Dragons, they are 5-3 overall headed into this one, 1-2 in the region, 1-1 in district play, coming off last week's 21-13 loss at Grayson County. Bowling Green coming off a drubbing at Doss, 51-6. They certainly handled Doss without too much of a problem. And tonight, this one, always a rivalry, but certainly going to be a tough one for the Dragons. Head coach Mike Rogers' first try at the Purples as Warren Central head coach. We'll see what he has for Coach Kevin Wallace and his Purples. It's senior night here at Bowling Green High. One of those seniors, running back LaVance Anderson. He's been excellent so far this year, to say the least, for the Purples, doing it all. He comes in at linebacker. Sometimes he can run the ball. He's averaging just about 95 yards a game, has scored 9 touchdowns running the football. And he comes in, and he can punt the ball as well. He'll bring him in to punt. They'll bring him in as in that wild purple formation, their version of the Wildcat. So we could definitely see that here tonight. As for the Dragons, again, Troy Halcomb certainly kind of helps make their offense go at quarterback. Hasn't done that much throwing the ball, but can run the ball. Has scored 8 rushing touchdowns on the year. Cortez Barber also can bust a big play at any moment like he did last week against Grayson County. And L.A. Rigsby's been the most steady rusher of the season, averaging about 78 yards a game on the ground for the Dragons. He's found the end zone 6 times over the course of the season. So, about set to go here. Teams taking the field. Warren Central is going to receive to start the game. They'll be headed from right to left in the road whites tonight. A somewhat cool night. It'll get cooler as the night wears on here at Bowling Green, but feels pretty comfortable out right now. The fans treated to a good night for football here under the lights at L. Donaldson Stadium. It's going to be Cortez Barber and Denzel Carpenter back to return for the Dragons. Bowling Green getting set to kick it away. Peter May will handle the kickoff duties for the Purples. As we're about set to get this rivalry game underway, renew the rivalry, the 2009 version, about to be kicked off here at Bowling Green. Bowling Green obviously a strong rushing attack offensively. They do a good job of stopping the run on defense, so that could be a problem for the Dragons tonight, as they've obviously a predominantly rushing team. If you've watched them at all this season, you certainly know that. They average around 260 yards per game on the ground, while just about 55 yards per game through the air. So they're going to have to find some way to solve this Bowling Green defense. Here comes the kick from May, and we are underway. It'll drift deep, and Barber will field it out from about his own 3. Runs to the 10, the 15, finds a seam at the 25, tries to cut it back at the 30. Will be brought down to the 29-yard line. So a pretty good return for Cortez Barber. Tackle was made, I believe, by Terrion Clark for the Purples. And the Dragons offense takes the field off a 13-point performance last week against Grayson County in some awfully sloppy conditions. It was tough for either team to get anything going on that field at Grayson County, and that really helped them. It will be Michael Bush getting the start tonight, the freshman for the Dragons. We thought we might see this. Troy Halcomb was warming up on the field, but Bush will come out in the wing tee. He's got Rigsby in the backfield. Barber in motion on 1st and 10. The give is the Rigsby straight ahead, runs right into the line, gets across the 30 to about the 32. Solid gain of 3 to start for L.A. Rigsby. And ironically, as good as Bowling Green is at stopping the run, this might be the key to the Dragons winning this game, trying to keep the ball on the ground and run the clock, and that might be their best bet tonight. They give them the 32. They're going to call it 2nd down and 6 from their own 32-yard line, close to the 33. It is Bush under center. 2 wings, Brown and Barber. Barber in motion. The Bowling Green defense jumped and they're going to get whistled for it.
Flag on the play. Preliminary indication, offsides on the purple.
And Bowling Green will give up 5 yards to Warren Central and make this a shorter second down situation for the Dragons. Michael Compton from the Bowling Green Daily News not with us this week. Hopefully he'll be back next week, as I believe, as the season will finish out at Warren Central. I think he'll be there for that one, so we'll look forward to that. Bush under center. Rigsby the lone setback on 2nd and 1 from their own 37. Brown comes in motion. The give is to Brown, but he fumbles it, picks it up on a bounce. That was lucky at the 35, running outside to the 39, and he's going to be right at the first down marker. I believe he will have it. A fortunate bounce for Eric Brown. The ball bounced straight back up to him, and the odd shape of a football, that's obviously a very fortunate bounce, and he will have the first down to the 39, a gain of 2. And some luck comes the Dragons' way, and you know, it never hurts to get a little lucky. They've struggled in that area a little bit this season, and especially of late, so fortunate there. 1st and 10 for their own 39. Bush brings Barber in motion behind Rigsby. Bush keeps it. Now they misdirection to Brown. He gets to the 40 and is smothered nicely. Didn't fool the Purples on that one. Alfred Gilbert, the senior, able to make the tackle. A gain of 1 to the 40. It's going to be 2nd down and 9 coming up for the Dragons. So we talked about Warren Central going to try to keep the ball on the ground, try to milk the clock as much as they can, as we've only played a minute and a half so far. 10:30 left in the first, no score. 2nd and 9 coming up for the Dragons on their opening drive of the game. Ironically, passing the ball might be the most effective way to beat the Bowling Green defense, but they're going to try to run it. Barber split wide here on this 2nd and 9 play. Bush back to throw. Looks towards Barber. Throws it out. Jump ball on the left side. It's going to be intercepted at the 40. Picked off by Devin Daniel. That pass floated out there. Cortez Barber never really had a shot, and any momentum Warren Central had gained in that opening drive instantly taken away by the Devin Daniel interception. So the Purples will take over 1st and 10 from their own 40. Chandler Sears in to start for the Purples at quarterback here tonight. He's got Levance Anderson in the backfield to his left as he goes from the shotgun. 3 wide receivers left, 1 wide to the right, a total of 4. Sears looking to throw. Rolling out under some pressure. Gets away from a hit. Gets across the 40. Gains a yard. Eden Hadji-Kadenic on the tackle to the 41. Well, it's actually a gain of a half yard for Sears as he had to try to scramble a bit. 2nd and 9.5 coming up for the Purples here. And now Sears off the field, and it's going to be Levance Anderson in the backfield. Looks like he's going to take the snap. Tevin, his brother, in the backfield left. Fakes the handoff to Tevin. Anderson keeps it across the 40 to the 43. Not much there. A gain of about 2.5. It's going to bring up a 3rd and long here to start for the Purples. So the Central defense, a gang tackle, trying to show that they are game to handle the Bowling Green run. 3rd and 7 coming for the Purples from their own 43. Sears back in at quarterback out of the shotgun. Anderson in the backfield right, and he got someone along that Warren Central line to jump off sides and return the favor from the opening drive. It was Eufen Yern jumping off sides, the nose tackle there for the Dragons, and it's going to make this 3rd and much shorter now for Bowling Green. It's going to be 3rd and 2 Purples from their own 48. 2 wide receivers here as Sears goes under center. Levance Anderson in the backfield. And the center jumps there for Bowling Green, and it looks like that'll back them back up, and we're going to have 3rd and 7 again. A flinch by the center. That one whistled on Will West. The senior, his father made note to us, he is 6'1", as we were on our way up to the press box this evening. Not 6 feet tall, the 6'1", Will West with the snap infraction there. It's going to make it 3rd and 7 again for the Purples from their own 43. Sears under center with Anderson in the backfield. Fakes the toss. Sears looking to throw. Fires. It's going to be too tall for Sam Howard at the Warren Central 40. DeVan Green back in coverage for the Dragons. And it looks like a 3-and-out for Bowling Green here to start the game. A big defensive stand for the Dragons for their momentum as they're able to win a bit back. We've seen Levance Anderson punt a few times for Bowling Green in past weeks, but he will not be in here. It's going to be Zach Williams on to punt it away. Cortez Barber back deep to return for Warren Central. 4th and 7 from their own 43. Snap is back to Williams. He will punt it away. Not the best punt. High end over end kick. It's going to bounce at the 30 and take a Warren Central bounce. Down by Bowling Green at the Warren Central the 37-yard line. So the Dragons will take over 1st and 10 from their own 37 with 8:37 to play here in quarter number 1. So neither team really able to get anything going offensively their first drives of the game. It will be Michael Bush back in at quarterback for the Dragons. An interception in the freshman's first start and in his first drive in his first start. Tough to be thrown into the fire against this tough Bowling Green defense. Bush under center here, brings Barber in motion. Gives to Rigsby right into the line. Not going to shy away from contact. Powers his way out to about the 40-yard line. Gain of 2.5 or 3 will be a 2nd and 8 coming up here for Warren Central. Bush with the play from the sideline into the huddle. Dragons did go to the air looking long on that first play. We'll see if they shy away from it now after the underthrown ball by Bush. He's under center here. One man in motion, it's Eric Brown. Bush gives the Barber on the reverse. Cuts it up at the 40, has a hold of the 45, jukes the defender at the 50. He's at the 45, cuts back to the middle field, 40. Still on his feet, 35. Tries to juke another defender, will get stood up at the 30. Finally, a big run for Cortez Barber. He takes it 30 yards to the Bowling Green 30. And that's what Barber brings to this Warren Central offense. He can bust those big plays at any moment. Make it a 29-yard run to the Bowling Green 31. It'll be 1st and 10 from there for the Dragons. Kind of a similar start to the way they started last week against Grayson County with a big Cortez Barber run early. He went for a touchdown of 40-plus last week. This week, bust one off for 29 early. Bush under center. Brown and Barber at the wings. Rigsby in the backfield. Brown comes in motion. The give is to Brown. Tries to turn the corner at the 30. Is run down nicely at the 29-yard line. A host of Purples there. Houston Natcher and Ryan Watkins both there on the tackle for the Purples. Ahead to the 28-yard line. It's a gain of 2 for Brown. It'll be 2nd and 8 Dragons from the Bowling Green 28. 7:16 to play in the first quarter. We're scoreless here at Bowling Green High. Michael Bush started the game at quarterback, the freshman for the Dragons. He's been in the entire time thus far. Has thrown one pass. It was picked off by Devin Daniel in the first drive, but Warren Central trying to get something going here. Deep in Bowling Green territory. Bush under center with Brown in motion. Bush will give it to Rigsby. Looking to go over the left side of the line. Not much doing there. Stood up by that tough Bowling Green front. KJ Kofer, Alfred Gilbert amongst the Purples on the tackle. A gain of 1 for Rigsby to the 27. 3rd and 7 coming up for the Dragons here. And another 3rd and long for Warren Central. We'll see if they try to take to the air again. Didn't go so well the first time. Rigsby in the backfield, the lone setback. This time Barber again split out wide left. Brown in the backfield with Rigsby. Bush will drop back to throw. Now fires deep right side, and it is going to be incomplete. Looking for Denzel Carpenter. Back deep in coverage for the Purples was Terrion Clark. He had Carpenter blanketed, and Sam Howard also there with the help over the top from the safety position. So nothing doing for the Dragons on that throw. Well covered by the Purples secondary, and it looks like on 4th and 7, Mike Rogers is going to elect to go for it. Saying not much to lose here. Levance Anderson in for defense for Bowling Green is Michael Bailey limping, coming off gingerly toward the near sideline. 4th and 7. Dragons looking to make a statement early. Bush under center again. Barber split wide to the left. Carpenter wide to the right. Brown comes and says something to Bush just before the snap. Brown at a wing. Rigsby Straight back in the backfield. Over the middle, Bush's throw is incomplete. Had Eden Hadjikadinich, but led him a little too much at the 15-yard line. It will be a turnover on downs. Bowling Green holds Warren Central on 4th down. The Purples take over 1st and 10 from their own 27. A good play call there. You know, we haven't seen that very much. A quick throw to the tight end from the Dragons throughout the season. Had the opening, just couldn't quite fit it in. Could Michael Bush, the freshman. Chandler Sears back in at quarterback for the Purples. Lines up out of the shotgun with 3 wideouts. Levance Anderson in the backfield left with 6:04 to play in the first quarter. A whistle from the line judge and a flag. And he pointed at Bowling Green initially, so it looks like it's going to be a penalty against the Purples. We'll check the call. And it is a false start against Bowling Green. It'll back them up 5 yards to their own 22-yard line. So 1st and 15, Bowling Green from their own 22. Sears out of the shotgun still, again with 3 wideouts, 2 to the near side, 1 to the far side left. Levance Anderson in the backfield to Chandler. Sears is left. The give, no, it's a fake give to Anderson. Sears is going to throw. He's got Howard. He bobbles it, catches it across the 35, run down to the 40, across the 40 at the 44. DeVan Green on the tackle. A big pickup there. 22 yards on the throw and catch from, well, wipe off a little bit of it. They mark it at the 42. So a gain of 20 yards on the throw and catch from Chandler Sears to Sam Howard. 1st and 10, Purples from their own 42. Sears will line up with an I backfield this time. Tevin Anderson in as the up back. Levance is the deep back. 2 wideouts. The give to, nope. Sears kept it. He faked the give to Tevin Anderson. It's a fumble as Sears was brought down at about the 47-yard line. He fumbled the football. Warren Central fell on it. Eufen Yern comes up with the, no. They say it's not a fumble, and Mike Rogers out on the field at the numbers to yell at the line judge. Felt it was a fumble, so no fumble. They say Sears was down. A gain of 5 for Chandler Sears. Out to the Bowling Green 47-yard line. Eufen Yern ended up with the ball, but they say Sears was down. Under 5 minutes to play in the first quarter. We're still scoreless. 2nd and 5. Bowling Green from their own 47. 3 wideouts for Sears. Under center, play fake to Anderson, rolls out, fires to Tevin Anderson. It's complete across the 50 into Warren Central territory. The hit made by Denzel Carpenter, bringing Anderson down right at the 49-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 4. 3rd and 1 coming up for Bowling Green from the Warren Central 49-yard line. We'll see if the Purples just look to power it into the line and pick up this first down. Tevin Anderson, Levance Anderson, both in the backfield with Sears as he goes from the shotgun. Stacking the line is the Central defense, and they jumped early. Free first down here for Bowling Green as they'll get 5 yards. The offsides, you know, pre-play penalties, a big theme so far here tonight. Both teams have been very jumpy at the line of scrimmage. A rivalry game like this probably a little bit more amped up than usual, and it's really showed here tonight. 1st and 10, Bowling Green from the Warren Central 44. I backfield. Sears fakes it to Tevin Anderson. Pitches to Levance Anderson at the 40. Cuts to the middle of the 35. Hit, powers through it. Gets down to the 33-yard line. A solid gain for Levance Anderson. He picks up 11 and a first down for Bowling Green.
First down, Bowling Green at the 33-yard line.
1st and 10, Purples from the Warren Central 33. And Sears out of the game. Anderson will line up at quarterback here. Levance takes the snap, runs right at the 40, runs right into the D, gets down. That was at the 35, down to the 31-yard line. Levance Anderson gains 2 on first down to make it 2nd and 8. Gang tackled by the Warren Central defense. Credit Jonathan Thompson on the tackle. 2nd and 8, Purples from the Dragon 31. Sears back in at QB. He'll line up out of the shotgun. Levance Anderson in the backfield right. 3 wideouts. Back to throw. Sears, 2 men coming at him, and he's going to hold on to the ball and take the sack. Eden Hadjikadinich back there along with Dennis Barco, and Sears takes a big loss. He loses 14 yards back to the 45-yard line. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 22 here for the Purples from the Warren Central 45 as Sears took a big sack there. Tevin Anderson in the backfield to his left on this 3rd and a mile. 4 wideouts. Sears looking left as he takes the snap. Steps up. Now will roll out left. Under heat. Still rolling left. He's going to be hit on the far side. Brought down by Jonathan Thompson and Eric Brown as he crossed the 45. Credit him to the 43-yard line. Gain of 2. It's going to make it 3rd and 20. And Bowling Green really not much of a choice here but to punt it away with 2:25 remaining in the first quarter. Cortez Barber will drop back to return. This time LaVance Anderson will line up deep for Bowling Green in the punter position. 4th and 20. Certainly versatile back there as Anderson makes it easy to fake it, but you wouldn't expect to see it here. He rolls out right, looking to punt it. He nearly had that blocked by Jonathan Thompson. It was tipped by Thompson. It lands at the 30. Still going to work out all right for Bowling Green, though. It'll be down at the 32-yard line. So it's going to be 1st and 10 Dragons from their own 32 with 2:01 left here in the first quarter. We are still scoreless at Donaldson Stadium. Nobody able to get on the board. Both teams have showed signs of moving the ball well, but the defenses have bent a bit, but they have not broken. And Michael Bush will be back in at quarterback for Warren Central, his 3rd series of the night. The Dragons able to drive it down deep into Bowling Green territory last time to about the 27-yard line before they were stopped. It's 1st and 10 here from their own 32. Rigsby in the backfield. Barber in motion, Barber takes the handoff, running right, trying to turn the corner at the 30, cuts it up, sneaks out to the 35-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 3 for Cortez Barber. Clock continues to tick away here in the first quarter, now showing a minute 40 left and counting. 2nd and 7. Dragons from their own 35. Continuing to run the ball on 1st and 2nd down. When they got to 3rd down, they've thrown it. When they got to 4th down, they threw it. The one time they went for it on 4th down so far. Bush under center with Rigsby the lone setback. Barber in motion. Gave it to Rigsby. And Bowling Green was in the backfield that time, nearly took the handoff. Not much for Rigsby, right back to the 35 at the line of scrimmage, and not a whole lot more. Chase Proctor makes the tackle for Bowling Green. Third and 6. They credit Rigsby with a gain of 1 to the 36. Under a minute left now in this first quarter. 45 seconds and counting. We'll see if the Dragons take to the air again. Every time they have, they've split Barber out wide. I don't see Barber in the game here, so I'm not sure what they're going to do. 3rd and 6. Bush back to throw. Looking. Fires for Carpenter. He catches it across the 40. Wrapped up immediately and brought down. They give him the 43-yard line. And that's going to be enough for the Warren Central first down. Right there on the coverage was Devin Daniel. He tackled Carpenter as soon as he caught it. But it was a gain of 7 and just enough for a Warren Central first down. Daniel already with an interception in the game. Did a good job making the tackle there. They give Warren Central the 44-yard line, actually. So 1st and 10 Dragons from their own 44. We'll see if that was the last play of the first quarter. It might have been. 14 seconds left. The clock continues to tick away. I think Central would be pretty content going into the quarter with no score here, but they're lining up. 5 seconds left in the first. Brown and Barber at the wings on 1st and 10. Barber in motion. They will run the play. Barber takes the handoff, looking to turn the edge. He's going to be wrapped up and brought down in the backfield back at the 40. Making the tackle was Jay Beard in his first game back from injury here tonight. A loss. They mark it at the 41. It's a loss of 3. 2nd and 13.
Are you one of the millions of people who can't find the energy to make it through the workday? Have you considered early retirement? Maybe it's time to pack it in. You've had a good run.
Or you can just drink some coffee, you turkey! Come on down to Minimart, get a hot cup of joe! It's recession-proof. Sleepy, slice it with coffee! Got a case of the Mondays? Uppercut! feeling blah? Karate it! Try a cappuccino, French vanilla. Cup of Joe, we're everywhere.
Welcome back to Donaldson Stadium at Bowling Green High. Warren Central and Bowling Green renewing their great football rivalry, and we are scoreless through quarter number one. Not a lot of experts would have had this, I wouldn't say, so I think it's safe to say that this one is, right now, closer than the experts think. Thank you, Lee Corso. But after a loss of 3 on a Cortez Barber run, Warren Central's going to have it second down and 13 from their own 41 as they take the field for the first play of the second quarter. Michael Bush, the freshman, the starting quarterback tonight for the Dragons, has been in the whole time and has looked pretty decent, has completed a pass, has thrown an interception, but managing the game well so far to this point. This second and 13, Barber in motion. Bush gives to Rigsby straight ahead, bounces off several tacklers. Tough run to the 45-yard line for L.A. Rigsby. A gain of 4 will bring up a 3rd and 9 for Warren Central after the first play of this second quarter.
Brings up 3rd and a long 9.
Every time Warren Central has faced a third down tonight, I think just about every time, they've gone to the air with Michael Bush, a little bit more confident maybe in his passing ability than that of Troy Halcomb. We'll see if that trend continues here on this third down. This time Barber lines with the backfield next to Rigsby. 2 wideouts. Bush under center on 3rd and 9. Bush again back to throw. Looks left. Fires out in the open. It's intercepted once again. It's Devin Daniel again taking it down the right sideline at the 40. Tries to cut back middle of the field. Hit and finally brought down at the Warren Central 38-yard line. Devin Daniel, his second interception of the night, and the Purples will take over with excellent field position here. That ball was floated out to the left side by Michael Bush, and that's how Daniel's gotten both of his interceptions, has been on balls that floated on Michael Bush, and it happened again. It's going to be 1st and 10 Bowling Green from their own 38, or excuse me, from the Warren Central 38. Out of the shotgun. On 1st and 10, it's Scooter Hollis in the game. Fakes the handoff to Anderson, throws, and it's dropped. Incomplete. Had his tight end wide open in the flat. Tyler Gibbs couldn't make the catch. We'll bring up a 2nd and 10 for the Purples as we see Scooter Hollis in at quarterback, the sophomore, for the first time tonight. And a good-looking pass there on 1st down that was just dropped by Gibbs. 2nd and 10, Bowling Green from the Dragon 38. Out of the shotgun, Hollis. Levance Anderson in the backfield left. Hollis rolls left, looking, fires, complete to West Cole at the 40. Running outside of the 30. Will be run down by Jonathan Thompson at the 24-yard line. Excuse me, at the 26-yard line. Mark it around the 25, actually. Gains 13, and it's going to be a 1st down for the Purples. 1st and 10 Purples from the Dragon 25. The Bowling Green offense starting to get in a rhythm here. Dangerous for this Warren Central defense. Hollis under center with an eye backfield. Tevin Anderson, the up back. Levance Anderson, the deep back. 1 wide out to each side. Hollis fakes the handoff to Tevin Anderson, keeps it, and is met by a host of Dragon defenders led by Jonathan Thompson, Eden Hadjikadenich. Hollis gonna be marked down at the 27-yard line. They say it's a loss of 2. 2nd and 12 coming up for the Purples from the Warren Central 27. Hollis will go under center this time. Levance Anderson, the deep back. 3 wideouts. 2 line up very close to each other on the near side left. Hollis gives to Anderson straight up the middle. A hole at the 20. To the middle of the field, 15. Bounces outside of the 10. He's going to take it in. Touchdown, Bowling Green. Levance Anderson from 26 yards out. And the Purples finally strike first in the second quarter. .10:01 left in this second, and Levance Anderson finally able to break through and get Bowling Green on the scoreboard. And he's pumped up on the sideline. Here's the extra point try. The hold by Will Porter. Zach Williams will try it. Kick up on the way. It is good. 10:01 left in the second quarter. Our score, Bowling Green 7, Warren Central nothing. So the Dragons were able to hold the Purples out of the end zone for a quarter and vice versa, but very, very quickly here in the second, less than 2 minutes in, Bowling Green finds the end zone. They spread the field, and Levance Anderson had a big hole straight up the middle, and that's something the Dragons had been able to do pretty effectively to that point, was stop that Bowling Green running attack. They couldn't do it there, though, and it results in a 26-yard Levance Anderson touchdown run. Purples set to kick it away. Cortez Barber back deep to return it for Warren Central. Kicking it away will be Peter May for the Purples. Here's May to boot it. A low liner angling toward the near sideline on the right. Picked up by Carpenter at the 11. Runs left to the 15. Trying to find a hole 20. Explodes across the 25 at the 30. Carpenter in the open field at the 40. Down the left sideline 50. 45, 40. Carpenter at the 30. Finally run out of bounds. A spectacular kickoff return for Denzel Carpenter inside the Bowling Green 30.
All the way back to the 27-yard line.
Actually, it looks like they're going to mark this right on the Bowling Green 30. Peter May, the kicker, on the tackle for the Purples, saving the touchdown as Carpenter able to scamper down that left side. Barber's usually the guy that takes the kicks, but Denzel Carpenter looked very impressive on that return. It'll be 1st and 10 Dragons from the Bowling Green 30. Michael Bush still at quarterback for the Dragons. Rigsby in the backfield behind Bush. Barber at a wing left, Brown at the wing right. And they line up to Van Green to the wide right at wide receiver. Ball just now set. Play clock running. Bush under center. Here we go on 1st and 10. Brings Brown in motion. Play fake to two guys. Gets it to Barber. He busts through a tackle at the 20. 15. Cuts inside of the 10. Cortez Barber spun down finally at the Bowling Green 9-yard line. A nice run for Barber, 21 yards inside the Bowling Green 10, and the second big run we've seen out of Cortez Barber tonight. Terrion Clark on the tackle for the Purples, but not before 21 yards busted off by Barber. 1st and goal, Warren Central from the Bowling Green 9. Bush under center, Rigsby the lone setback, Green split wide left, Brown and Barber at the wings, Barber in motion. Handoff Rigsby, straight up the middle, hit hard initially, is tripped up and brought down after a gain of about 2. Chase Proctor got back there and grabbed Rigsby by the legs, gets to the 7. Will be 2nd and goal from the Bowling Green 7 here for the Dragons, approaching the 9-minute mark remaining in the second quarter, first half of play. 7-0 Bowling Green in front of Warren Central. 2nd and goal, Dragons from the Bowling Green 7. Here's Bush under center. Carpenter wide to the left. Brown and Barber at the wings. Rigsby the lone setback. Bring Brown in motion. Gives it to Brown. Looking to turn the edge at the 5. Brown hit. He's very near the goal line, and he will be just short. Will Eric Brown mark him at the 1-yard line? A gain of 6 for Eric Brown, down to the Bowling Green 1.
Brown on the carry down to the 1-yard line.
It's going to be 3rd and goal for the Dragons from possibly inside the Bowling Green 1. A tough angle for us. We're stationed at the other 35-yard line from where the action is taking place. We'll do our best here, though. Bush under center on third and goal from the 1. Rigsby the lone setback. We'll see if they give it to him. One man in motion. It's a quarterback sneak for Bush. He might have fumbled the ball, but I think he snuck it in. He did. Touchdown, Warren Central. Michael Bush, the 1-yard quarterback sneak. And the Dragons are able to answer the Purples right back. But there's a flag down. We'll check the flag. Officials huddling in the middle of the field. We'll see what we have here. A 1-yard touchdown run for the freshman Michael Bush if it stands. Here's the call. A little more suspense, and the touchdown is good. So it's going to be a post-play, unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against the Dragons. Something that they cannot afford and something we've seen rear its head several times, and we'll see if Bowling Green elects to take this on the extra point or on the kickoff. Levance Anderson was just told of that option. He informs Coach Wallace of it. Coach Wallace has made his decision, and we'll see if the official tells us what the decision is. Here is the call, and they will enforce it on the kickoff, so the extra point will be tried from right in there. So Michael Bush, the freshman, has thrown two interceptions in the game, but now has his first touchdown with the 1-yard run. Sergio Beltran Sosa on to kick it for the Dragons. Denzel Carpenter will hold. And Bowling Green moved all kinds of early that time coming around the edges. So probably decline this, though. You don't want to move it too much closer and make it a very tough angle. But the Dragons are going to accept the penalty and go for 2. They want the lead. I guess when things have been going the way they have, last week for the Dragons, maybe you feel like at this point you have nothing to lose and you're going to go for 2. Bush on the field. Bush under center on the 2-point try from the 1.5. Brown in motion, gives the Brown. He's got the edge, runs over a defender. He reaches out and has the 2-point conversion. Eric Brown takes it in, and the Dragons have the lead with 7:59 remaining in the second quarter. Warren Central 8, Bowling Green 7. Are you kidding me? Certainly did not see this coming. Headed in. So Warren Central able to march right down and answer the Bowling Green touchdown. After a spectacular kickoff return by Denzel Carpenter to really set that up, showing the importance of special teams and how important kickoffs can really be. Carpenter got a spectacular return down to the Bowling Green 30, and the Dragons were able to finish off the drive on a 1-yard Michael Bush touchdown run. And then a 2-point conversion run in by Eric Brown, and it is 8-7 Dragons. But the Dragons have to kick off from their own 25 now after the post-play unsportsmanlike conduct penalty after that touchdown. Samir Music out for the first time tonight in his fantastic green shoes. Sam Howard. And it looks like Terrion Clark back deep to return. Or Tevin Anderson, it's Terrion Clark, and the kick is booted over the head of Howard. He's going to run back into the end zone. What a boot by Samir Music. And the Purples will have to start from their own 20, even after a 15-yard penalty. So Music put a leg into one, a low-lining kick from his own 25, was able to reach the end zone. And again, special teams really the advantage so far to the Dragons after a spectacular Carpenter return the last time they received a kickoff, and then a great kick that time by Samir Music to force Bowling Green to start from their own 20 when it looked like they could have had excellent field position. Hollis back in the game at quarterback, has both the Andersons in the backfield out of the shotgun, 2 wideouts. Fakes the snap, and that drew the Warren Central defense well off sides. Again, these guys really anxious to try to get into the backfield. We've seen both teams just again and again really jumpy at the line of scrimmage tonight. Itching to get at each other are these two teams. It's going to be now 1st and 5 Bowling Green from their own 25. Hollis out of the shotgun again. Both the Andersons to either side of him in the backfield. One wide out to each side. Hollis again gets the Dragons to jump a hard count here, but no call. They're able to get back. This time Hollis does take the snap, gives it to Levance Anderson. Nearly fumbled the handoff, but he able to hold on. Gets over the right side to the 26 where he's brought down. A gain of just 1. And actually it was Tevin Anderson on the gain of 1. Gang tackled there by the Dragons, and so Tevin Anderson able to get just 1, bringing up 2nd and 4 Bowling Green from their own 26. Under center is Hollis. Levance Anderson, the deep back, with an eye backfield. Tevin Anderson in front of him. The give is the up back. Tevin Anderson has a hole across the 35, the left side 40, at the 45, at the 50. Spins at the Warren Central 45. Will finally be run down at the 41-yard line of Warren Central by Denzel Carpenter and Eric Brown, and a flag comes in well after the play. They mark it at the 42. 38 yards. Make that a gain of 32 yards for Tevin Anderson. And the penalty, a personal foul against Bowling Green after the play. So they pay that favor back to Warren Central. So they'll move him back 15 yards. So it was a 32-yard gain for Tevin Anderson. It'll still be 1st and 10 Purples, but the field position won't be as good. It'll be 1st and 10 Bowling Green now from their own 43 rather than from the Warren Central 42. So 1st and 10 Purples. Hollis at the quarterback spot. 7:16 left in this second quarter, and whistles now coming in as Coach Mike Rogers was talking to the line judge over on the far side. We'll see what we've got here. He comes in to talk to the referee. Not exactly sure what that was about, but it looks like we're set to go now. 1st and 10 Bowling Green from their own 43. 8-7 Warren Central here. 7:10 left in the second. Hollis under center. Levance Anderson in the backfield. Now he's going to split out to the right in the slot. So an empty backfield. Hollis back there by himself with 3 wideouts. Hollis back to throw. Brown rushing off the edge. Throw deep left side. It's going to be caught. A nice grab at the Warren Central 35 by Zach Williams. DeVan Green in coverage, credited with the tackle. But a back shoulder throw by Scooter Hollis, and Zach Williams came back to catch it nicely at the 35. A 22-yard throw and catch. 1st and 10 Purples from the Warren Central 35-yard line. Hollis under center. Anderson in the backfield. Howard wide to the left. Cole wide to the right. Hollis pitches. Levance Anderson, right side at the 35. Met by Dragons. Runs over him, though. Gets to the 31. He fumbled the football, and Coach Mike Rogers says it should be Central ball, but again, they're going to rule Levance Anderson down. Second Bowling Green near fumble of the night. First one was by Chandler Sears when he kept it from the quarterback spot, and that time it was Levance Anderson nearly fumbling it. It's a gain of 3 for Anderson, down to the Warren Central 32. 2nd and 7 Purples from there. Hollis goes from the shotgun with Levance Anderson in the backfield left. 2 wide receivers left, 1 to the right. Halfway through the second quarter. Hollis, play fake to Anderson. Steps back, looking to throw. Now it's to roll right. In trouble. He's going to be run down from behind by Eric Brown as he took off. Hollis, maybe they're going to mark it a loss of 1. Back to the 33-yard line. Will be 3rd and 8 Purples from the Warren Central 33. So Eric Brown, the speedster, able to get into the backfield of Bowling Green that time and run down Scooter Hollis. See what the Purples do on this 3rd and 8. Hollis out of the shotgun. Anderson in the backfield left. It's Levance. They bring trips to the left side. One wide receiver right. Hollis back to throw. Looked like the Bowling Green receivers jumped off. No call. Hollis rolling out left at the 35. Hit. Stays on his feet at the 30. Runs down the sideline inside the 25. An excellent run by Scooter Hollis. Finally shoved out of bounds at the 20-yard line. A gain of 13 and a first down for Bowling Green as Scooter Hollis scampered down the left side. Eden Hadjikadenich had a shot at him in the backfield, but when at his feet, Hollis was able to step out of the tackle and pick up the first down, showing some nifty footwork down the left sideline to stay in bounds. 1st and 10, Bowling Green from the Central 20. 3 wideouts. Levance Anderson in the backfield as Hollis goes under center. Hollis gives to Anderson, runs straight ahead, and will get nothing. Gets out to the 19, maybe a yard, as the Dragons stack the middle that time. DeMonte Smith in on that tackle. And the other Dragon in on the tackle is still down. No gain on the play. And an injury for Warren Central as play is stopped. He's still down right there at that 20-yard line. Coach Mike Rogers and the training staff out, still trying to see who that is. It looks like it's Eric Brown down on the field for Warren Central, and that is not what they want to see. He's played an excellent game defensively. He's played an excellent game offensively as well. He's really doing it all so far for the Dragons, a big part of why they have a 1-point lead right now. Dragons lead 8-7 with 5:05 to play. And I can't tell what Brown is favoring. You hate to speculate on that. It looks like, I don't know what it looks like. Trainer's looking, doesn't look like they're looking at his legs really. Got him pretty well surrounded at the 20-yard line. All the Dragons on the far sideline down to a knee as Eric Brown down. You certainly hate to see this. Helmets off on the field for the Dragons. Something that the Warren Central team has been relatively lucky with this thus far in the year is injuries, and Brown to his feet. It looks like it is, I thought at first it might have been the back, and it looks like it is that lower back that Eric Brown is favoring as he comes off the field gingerly, but he's able to walk off under his own power, so hopefully he'll be okay. The Dragons certainly hope he is, as he's been a big contributor so far tonight. Action will be back underway. It's going to be 2nd and 10 Bowling Green from just inside the Warren Central 20. 8-7 Dragons here with 5:05 remaining in the first half. Scooter Hollis out of the shotgun. Levance Anderson in the backfield right. 3 wideouts for the Purples. Hollis has the snap. Drops back, looking to throw, looks left side. It's going to be airmail looking for Wes Cole, incomplete at the 10-yard line. Jordan Ward in coverage for the Dragons. Nicely done. And somehow that play only took 1 second off the clock. Now 5:04 remaining in the first half. Maybe a little slow on the trigger on the clock. Will be 3rd down and 10. Bowling Green from the Warren Central, from just inside the Central 20. Again, Hollis out of the shotgun. Anderson, Levance Anderson, that is in the backfield right. 2 wideouts right. Tevin Anderson, one of them along with Wes Cole. Sam Howard wide to the left. Hollis, play fake to Levance. Looking to throw. Pumps fakes once. Now looking to roll out left. He's going to be drugged down by the jersey. Great job there by Marvin Miles to latch on to Scooter Hollis's jersey and not let him roll out. He's tackled back at the 25-yard line. Loss of about 5 on the play. Will bring up a 4th and long now for the Purples, but there's a flag from the far side, from the far line judge. We'll see what he's got. Here is the call with 4:52 left in the first half. A dead ball sideline warning against Warren Central. That's their first sideline warning, so no yards, no automatic first downs there, just a warning. So we'll see what Bowling Green does here. Backed up to their 25 would be roughly a 42-yard field goal if they wanted to try that. on 4th and about 14 or 15. Mixing up the personnel here. The clock is rolling, or it's supposed to be. There it is. Now it's rolling. Some confusion on this Bowling Green sideline here on 4th down, and now a whistle's coming in from the Warren Central side, and I believe the Dragons might have taken a timeout, as it looked like the Purples are lining up to go for it here on 4th and long, and actually not a timeout. The officials are now huddling in the middle of the field. Fourth and roughly 15 for the Purples from the Warren Central 25. Now we're back ready to go. Hollis out of the shotgun. Now they're going to make it 3rd down. And now whistles again as Coach Mike Rogers is beside himself. The Dragons take a timeout. Now they've got 3rd down on the scoreboard and 3rd down on the yardage marker. The down on the scoreboard has been one behind the entire time, and I've been wondering about that. The down marker on the field has been on, though, and from what I know, it should be 4th down right now with 4:35 to play here in the first half. It should be a 4th down. There was an injury after 1st down, and then they ran 2 plays after that. It should be 4th down. Every kind of math we've got up here has it as 4th down. The officials are huddling now, trying to get this straight as Mike Rogers burned a timeout for that purpose. I don't see how it couldn't be 4th down. 4:35 left in the first half. 8-7 Warren Central in front of Bowling Green. It's going to be either 3rd and 15 or 4th and 15 for the Purples from the Warren Central 25. From all the math we know, it should be 4th down. But they've got 3rd down now showing on the yardage marker, 3rd down showing on the scoreboard. The scoreboard has been a down off from what the yardage marker's been saying for several plays now, and I think we might have a 5th down situation here. It is. And Mike Rogers is still giving it to the line judge. He cannot believe it. Hollis out of the shotgun. It's 3rd and 15. That's what we're going with. Hollis back to throw. Steps up, looks right, now looks back left, rolls left, still looking, fires for the sideline, just has to throw it away. Hollis under pressure again from Marvin Miles, playing an excellent game so far. The junior got the heat on Hollis again after bringing him down the last play. And now it will be 4th down and 15 with 4:27 left in the first half. Still not sure what exactly happened there, but the Purples will come out and try a field goal. It's going to be a 42-yard attempt. Zach Williams on to try it. The hold by Will Porter from the left hash mark. Snap right there. Hold is good. Kick up, and it's going to be well short. He hit that one, got well under it. Getting a push up the middle was Yurn. It's no good. It did reach the end zone, though, so the Dragons will start 1st and 10 from their own 20. Possibly a 5th down there for the Purples, but no harm as Warren Central able to come through on defense again. They carry their 1-point lead, 8-7, as they retake possession after the missed field goal from 42 yards out. It will be 1st and 10 Dragons from their own 20. Michael Bush has been in at quarterback. The freshman's performed pretty well so far. Has thrown 2 interceptions, but a 1-yard touchdown run. Stovall in at a wing, along with Cortez Barber. Stovall in motion. Stovall gets the carry, trying to turn the edge left. Gets hit as he crosses the 20. Grabbed up around the head and brought down. The Bowling Green defense, a good job that time. I think it was Franco Irvin getting in, the junior defensive end, able to rip down Brian Stovall as he turned the edge and got 3 yards out to the 23. It'll be 2nd and 7 Dragons from their own 23. So Brian Stovall seeing his first real action of the night with Eric Brown injured during that last series, but he's walking around with Mike Rogers on the sideline. Looks like Brown is okay, possibly lobbying to come back into the game. Bush under center with Stovall and Barber at the wings. Rigsby the lone setback. Green wide to the right. Handoff. Rigsby busts through. Gets across the 25 down to the 27-yard line. Solid run by L.A. Rigsby as he's able to pick up about 4.
Rigsby up the middle, gain of 2 yards, tackled by Beeler.
Well, maybe not 4. They mark it at the 26. It's a gain of about 3. We'll bring up a 3rd and 4 from the 26. 3rd and 4 from their own 26 for the Dragons. Bush under center against Stovall and Barber at the wings. Carpenter wide to the right. Bush on that reverse play as Barber takes the handoff, is hit as soon as he touches the football. Maybe falls forward for a yard out to the 27.
Barber on the carry, gain of 1 yard.
They will mark it to the 27. Will bring up a 4th and 3, and the Purples will burn their first time out of the half. Now each team with 2 timeouts remaining as they stop the clock with 2:41 left in the first half. 8-7 Dragons. You can bet Coach Kevin Wallace wants to get the Purples out front before we reach halftime in this one. I don't think a lot of people expected Warren Central to be in the lead with 2:41 left in the opening half, and really the Dragons have just looked very steady and very solid on defense. They've been able to get to Scooter Hollis or Chandler Sears, whoever's been back there a couple of times, and really have contained for the most part Levance Anderson. He did bust a 26-yard run on him, but so far they've played pretty well, have the Dragons. But now it'll be 4th and 3. They're going to have to punt it away from deep in their own territory, from their own 27. This time I'm relatively certain it is 4th down. And Michael Bush will run out. They're going to run Michael Bush back to punt here. Pulling a little bit of a trickery on Bowling Green. A little Levance Anderson situation is Bush on to punt. And we have whistles and a flag. And I think 12 men broke the huddle for the Dragons, and that might be the penalty, as Sergio Beltran Sosa was running off late, and that is an illegal substitution against Warren Central. Will back them up 5 yards. It's going to be 4th and 8 from their own 22 now. And we'll see if, and now Michael Bush will come off the field. Any thought they had of maybe trying a fake there, gone as it gets longer. And now we'll see Eden Hadjigadinich drop back to punt it away like usual. Sam Howard back to return for the Purples. Snap is good. Hadjigadinich puts a boot into this one. Howard running right. Will field it back near his own 40. Run straight up the sideline, 45. At the 50. Run down from behind at the Warren Central 45-yard line. Pretty good return. Straight ahead by Sam Howard. Tackle made on the play by Dennis Barco for the Dragons. It's going to be 1st and 10 Purples from the Warren Central 45. Down 8-7, 2:31 left in the first half. Chandler Sears back in at quarterback for the Purples. He's going from the shotgun on 1st and 10 with 4 wideouts. Levance Anderson in the backfield left. Sears hands to Anderson. Straight ahead. Busts through the 45. Gets out to the 40. Brought down there. Gain of 5.
Anderson on the carry, gain of 6. Tackle by Smith. 2nd and 4.
DeMonte Smith on the tackle for the Dragons. Out to the 40. It's a gain of about 5. 2nd and 5 for Bowling Green. Out of the shotgun again, Sears with Anderson in the backfield left. Trips left for the Purple. Sears back to throw. Steps up, fires deep over the middle. Has Cole. He reaches up and makes the catch at the 20-yard line. Jordan Ward was in the closest one in the area. Cole went down by his own. Then Ward got in a little hit. Now it's getting a little chippy, and a flag comes in. Flag comes in as the players starting to get chippy with each other in there. A little pushing and shoving going on the field. They mark Cole down at the 19-yard line of Warren Central. It's a gain of 21, and this could be offsetting personal fouls from the flag as the players were pushing back and forth pretty good amount in there after that play. We'll see what the call is. As Mike Rogers is about to blow a gasket over on the Warren Central sideline. It will be a Bowling Green first down after the play. And here is the call. A lot of FaceTime tonight for this referee. And, oh, he faked us out. We won't get one yet. Minute 58 left here in the second quarter, first half of play. 8-7 Warren Central leads Bowling Green in the waning moments of this first half. Been a very intense football game to this point, to say the least. Personal foul against Bowling Green after the play, and a personal foul against Warren Central. So they will be offsetting penalties. Wipe them away as they're both after the play. So the play just stands like it should. 1st and 10 Bowling Green from the Warren Central 19.
Offsetting penalties. First down, Bowling Green from the 19.
It would come back to the original spot, but both penalties happened after the play. Sears out of the shotgun. Levance Anderson in the backfield left. 2 wide receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Sears back to throw. Steps up, fires. Deep right side. Has Cole in the front left of the end zone. It is incomplete. Broken up by Denzel Carpenter as Cole was trying to make that catch. Jonathan Thompson also deep in coverage for the Dragons. Thompson, the linebacker, back deep in coverage there for the Dragons, helping underneath as Carpenter had it over the top. 2nd and 10 now, Bowling Green from the Warren Central 19. 1:53 remaining in the first half. Sears out of the shotgun. Has Tevin Anderson in the backfield left. Levance in the slot left. Sears back to throw. Avoids one rusher. Steps up. Now looking to run. Keeps it at the 15. Tripped up. It will be spun down at about the 12-yard line. Give him 7 yards to the 12. Well, mark it at the 13, so give him 6 to the 13. Be 3rd and 4 coming up for the Dragons. For the Purples from the Dragon 13. After the 6-yard run by Chandler Sears. Sears will go from the shotgun. Anderson in the backfield left. 4 wideouts. Now Sears looks to the sideline for a possible change on the play, and Coach Wallace is going to call a timeout. So now 1 timeout left for the Purples. Still 2 timeouts remaining for the Dragons. 1:13 left here in this first half. 8-7 Warren Central for the time being. But the Purples certainly at the doorstep here. 3rd and 4 from the Dragon 13 coming up when they run their next play. We've seen a heck of a football game to this point as both teams' defenses have really stepped it up here and been able to contain their opponents' offenses. A couple of interceptions thrown by Michael Bush, but Bowling Green hasn't really been able to cash in as well as you might think. Only 7 points on the scoreboard. The Dragons got a nice kickoff return. Special teams really the difference in this game so far. And then after that touchdown, a great kickoff by Samir Music. After a 15-yard penalty after the touchdown, he had a kick from his own 25 and was able to drive a low liner over Sam Howard's head and all the way back into the Bowling Green end zone and make them have a long field. And they were not able to score on that drive. Sears out of the shotgun on 3rd and 4 with both Andersons in the backfield. Whistles pre-play. And I think we got a timeout, Warren Central. So the chess match on here between Mike Rogers and Kevin Wallace. Each team now with 1 timeout remaining. Still 1:13 left in the half, and when they line up next time, we're going to see something happen. We know that. Really a pivotal time in this game, though, as Bowling Green could either take the lead here or Warren Central could carry all the momentum into the locker room. Momentum on the line here as this drive finishes up. That's what makes it so big. All kinds of importance. Here we go. We'll try it again. It'll be 3rd and 4 Bowling Green from the Warren Central 13. All the fans particularly the Warren Central fans on their feet and cheering as they are on defense. It'll be Sears out of the shotgun and Anderson to either side. Two wideouts, Cole and Howard. Howard left, Cole right. Sears looking. Under some pressure from Thompson. He's hit, and Thompson made a nice diving tackle back at the 21. What a tackle by Jonathan Thompson. A loss of 8 on the play. The sack for Jonathan Thompson, and Bowling Green will burn their final timeout of the half with 1:02 remaining in the second quarter. They actually mark it back at the 22, so it's going to be a loss of 9, and really it looked like Sears was going to be able to get away from Jonathan Thompson, but a last-ditch effort, laid out, just tried to grab the foot and was able to do so. A spectacular tackle by Jonathan Thompson to force a 4th and long here. Big sack for the linebacker. He's been huge on defense all season long for the Dragons, and he shows up and comes up big once again there. They've got this marked, looks like right at the 22, maybe the 23. 4th and 14 officially from the 23 according to the scoreboard. And Zach Williams on to try a field goal. It's a 40-yard attempt from the right hash. Will Porter to hold again. Snap high. Porter gets it down. Williams better kick this time on the way. It is just good. Just cleared the crossbar. So a 40-yard field goal from Zach Williams, and with 56 seconds remaining in the first half, our score, Bowling Green 10, Warren Central 8. So Williams missed from 42 earlier in an ugly kick, but that time redeemed himself, just got it over the crossbar. Got into that one a lot better. You could tell he really misfired on that first one, but that one he got into much more and was able to drive it through the uprights. So 10-8, Bowling Green able to get the lead here with under a minute left in the first half. And Bowling Green will get the ball to start the second half and see if that influences what the Dragons do here as this first half comes to a close, as they were able to receive to start the game. Eric Brown back into the game. He's in on special teams here. Barber back deep to return for the Dragons. Ball kicked away by Sam Williams. Fielded by Carpenter. He burned him last time. Running left. Shy of the 15. Avoids one tackle. Now cuts up around the 15. Will be brought down at the 18-yard line. Not quite as spectacular that time. So the Dragons take over 1st and 10 from their own 18. There is a flag down. Jackson Sowell on the tackle for the Purples. We'll check the flag. It's, I would suspect, some sort of holding coming against the Dragons here, which would back them up pretty good ways. Marked at the 18 right now. That is the call against Warren Central. So the Dragons will start 1st and 10 from their own 9. But the good news is Bowling Green doesn't have any timeouts left, so if the Dragons want, they can play it conservative and take a knee and not let anything crazy happen. Doesn't look like they're going to do that, though. Yes, they will. It doesn't look like they will do that. Bush under center. The snap to a knee. Probably a wise decision here by Warren Central. Down only 2. And to be in that spot at halftime, not one a lot of people would have figured they'd be in. They'll have to kneel on it one more time before the half comes to an end. Bush into the huddle. Has played pretty well so far in this game. In his first start, the freshman on a pretty big stage, playing arch rival Bowling Green. Bush kneels it down again, and that will be the final play of the first half. At the half, our score, Bowling Green 10, Warren Central 8, and those fans you hear in the background, predominantly the Dragon fans, to their feet, down 2, but played a very good first half, did Warren Central, particularly the defense able to hold the potent Bowling Green offense to just 10 points so far. Michael Bush with a 1-yard touchdown run for the Dragons, has thrown 2 picks, but does have that touchdown run. And Eric Brown converted a 2-point conversion. That's how they got their 8. 26-yard touchdown run by Levance Anderson put the Purples on the board 7-0. And then the Dragons came back and made it 8-7. And then a 40-yard Zach Williams field goal just before the end of the half. And that's how we are 10-8 Bowling Green. We'll see what happens. An exciting first half. We'll see if the second half can live up to this first half. Back with the second half in just a while. You are watching Warren Central football on High School Zone Broadcasting.
Are you one of the millions of people who can't find the energy to make it through the workday? Have you considered early retirement? Maybe it's time to pack it in. You've had a good run.
Or you can just drink some coffee, you turkey! Come on down to Minimart, get a hot cup of joe! It's recession-proof. Sleepies, slice it with coffee! Got a case of the Mondays? Uppercut! Feeling blah? Karate it! Try a cappuccino, French vanilla. Cup of joe, we're everywhere!
Welcome back to Donaldson Stadium here at Bowling Green High School at halftime. Warren Central trails Bowling Green 10-8. The Dragons probably feel like they're up at halftime, though. They had the 8-7 lead until a 40-yard Zach Williams field goal with 56 seconds left in the first half, and the Purples took the lead 10-8. But certainly this one not going the way most would have had it going here on senior night at Bowling Green High. The prevailing thought around town was that Bowling Green was going to pretty well hand it to Warren Central. That has not been the case so far. The Dragons have hung right in there. Freshman quarterback starting tonight for the Dragons, Michael Bush, has performed pretty well, has done a pretty good job of managing the football game, has thrown a couple of picks, both of them to Devin Daniel, 2 picks for him on that Bowling Green defense, but they haven't hurt the Dragons too much, and Bush has had a 1-yard touchdown run, so he's been doing a pretty good job out there, not making too many big mistakes. Those passes were kind of one-on-one battles. He threw it up for the receiver to go get it, and Daniel just outplayed the receiver, to be honest. And so pretty good performance for Bush so far here tonight. As for the Purples, they've got to be disappointed with the way things have gone so far. Coach Wallace has even shed the jacket now down in the huddle. He's in just his short sleeves, so it's getting serious down on the Bowling Green sideline, that's for certain. And they just haven't been able to get a whole lot going offensively. The Central defense has had something to do with that. And we are set to go for the second half. It is 10-8 Bowling Green as we get things underway. Warren Central got the ball to start the game. They will kick off to start the second half. It will be Samir Music booting it away for the Dragons. Sam Howard and Terrion Clark back deep to return for the Purples. We'll see how much fatigue plays a factor in this as well. The Dragons, a lot of guys that go both ways. Bowling Green doesn't have a lot of guys that go both ways. We'll see if fatigue catches up with the Dragons here in this second half. Music boots it away. A high driving kick. Howard will field it from his own 4, straight ahead of the 5. Running outside 10, 15, 20. Down the left side, dives across the 25. We'll be down at about the 27-yard line. So Sam Howard, a decent return for the Purples, and they'll have decent field position as they start their first drive of the second half. It'll be 1st and 10 from their own 27. Chandler Sears will start the second half at quarterback like he started the game for the Purples. We're going to see Brandon Green, another guy that can really pound the ball at the running back spot, possibly in for Tevin Anderson. We heard at halftime on that play where Hollis was sacked late in the first half. Tevin Anderson threw his mouthpiece, and Coach Wallace not happy with that. Might have benched Tevin Anderson, so we might see a whole lot of Brandon Green here in the second half. He's the deep back behind Levance Anderson and I backfield, 1st and 10 for their own 27. Sears does give it to Levance Anderson. He doesn't get much. Nothing really. No gain as Jonathan Thompson right there to bring him down. And then good sportsmanship helps Levance Anderson to his feet. Along with Thompson was Dennis Barco there for the tackle. Give him maybe not really anything. Still going to be 2nd and 10 for about their own 27.5-yard line. This time Sears will go from the shotgun with Green and Anderson back there with him. 2 wideouts. Play fake. Sears rolling out left. He's going to be wrapped up and brought down deep in the backfield. It's Eric Brown getting to the quarterback again. He's played an excellent game tonight. And the sack will back the Purples up back to their own 18-yard line. A loss of 9 on the play. It'll bring up a 3rd and 19. And that's something the Dragons have done a pretty good job of tonight, getting to the Bowling Green quarterback, whether it's been Scooter Hollis or Chandler Sears. Eric Brown has played a big part in that. When he's been in the game, he's able to do it again. And Sears will go from the shotgun. They'll call it 3rd and 19 for their own 18. Out of the shotgun, Sears with Green in the backfield. Back to throw. Sears steps up, fires deep over the middle. Nobody home except for Dragons. It's incomplete. Denzel Carpenter and Devan Green were the closest guys back to it. Wes Cole was in the area, as was Zach Williams for Bowling Green, but Sears pass airmails everybody, and the Purples are going to have to punt it away. Zach Williams will punt for the Purples. Cortez Barber to return for the Dragons. We'll see what kind of a punt Williams gets away here. The Dragons could end up with pretty solid field position. Williams catches, rolls right, and punts it. Barber moves to his left, lets it bounce, and it takes a big Bowling Green hop. Wow. That ball's going to roll all the way down inside the Warren Central 25. Mark it dead at the 23-yard line. So Williams absolutely boots one right there. 59 yards on the punt for Zach Williams. No return. And the Dragons will start 1st and 10 from their own 23. And it will, in fact, still be Michael Bush in the game for the Dragons. And we'll see what they do here on 1st and 10. The strategy most of the night has been to run on 1st and 2nd down and then throw on 3rd. Nothing too unconventional. Bush will go under center with Rigsby the lone setback. Carpenter wide left. Brown the wing right. Barber the wing left. Barber in motion. Bush gives to Rigsby over the right side of the line. Has a little bit of a hole. Is able to power his way out across the 25 down to the 27. A little post play activity there involving one of the Dragons' offensive linemen and one of the Purple's defensive linemen. They mark Rigsby out to the 28-yard line. It's a gain of 5. It'll be 2nd and 5 here for the Dragons. Terrence Barksdale on the stop, the senior for the Purples. Dragons break the huddle. Rigsby again in the backfield. The lone setback. This time Devan Green split wide to the left. Brown and Barber again at the wings. Barber in motion behind Rigsby. Give it to Brown. Looking for a hole up the middle. Breaks a tackle across the 30. Drives his way down to the 32-yard line. Maybe the 33. Right at the 1st down marker. It'll be very close. They mark him right at that 33. They might have to measure for this one on a 5-yard pickup for Eric Brown. On the little counter play for the Dragons, and it is a 1st down for Warren Central. So they're able to pick up a 1st down in their first drive of this second half. It'll be 1st and 10 Dragons from their own 33. Michael Bush will go under center with Rigsby, the lone setback. This time Carpenter wide to the right. Brown and Barber are the wings. Brown in motion. Handoff. Rigsby over the left side has a big hole. Out across the 40. Across the 45. Brought down at the 48-yard line. A pickup of 15 yards for L.A. Rigsby. Michael Bailey in on the tackle for the Purples. So just like that, L.A. Rigsby busts one with a nice hole created by the offensive line. That's what he brings. He can bust a run like that right up the middle at any time. And he was able to do it there. 1st and 10 Dragons from their own 48. Bush will again go under center. Once again, Brown and Barber are the wings, with Rigsby the lone setback to Van Green is wide to the left. Barber in motion. Give is to Barber, looking to try to get the right edge. Cuts it up at the 45, able to stumble his way to the 49 maybe. A pickup of about 1 for Cortez Barber. We'll see if they give him midfield. They don't. They mark him at the Warren Central 49. KJ Kofer on the tackle. Bring up a 2nd and 9 for the Dragons from their own 49-yard line. And we've seen this Warren Central running game. They haven't really busted off many huge plays, but they've been able to kind of steadily chip away at times at this Bowling Green defense, what they're trying to do again here. 2nd and 9 for their own 49. Rigsby the lone setback. Barber in motion. Give is to Rigsby over the right side of the line. He's into Bowling Green territory. Runs into a pile down near the purple 46-yard line. They mark him at about the 47. It looks like it's going to be a gain of 4 for L.A. Rigsby. So a 3rd and medium coming up here for Warren Central. 3rd and a long 5 coming up here for the Dragons from the purple 47.5-yard line. Clock continuing to tick away. The third quarter's been quick thus far. 7:20 remaining and counting. Still 10-8 Bowling Green. Rigsby in the backfield. Brown and Barber at the wings. Bowling Green coming with the big blitz. Bush to throw. Fires complete to a jumping Denzel Carpenter. Avoids one tackle, able to stay on his feet out across the Bowling Green 40. Down to the 37-yard line. A gain of 10 and a first down for Warren Central as Michael Bush able to complete the pass to Denzel Carpenter. So thus far on their opening drive of the second half, the Dragons moving the ball pretty effectively on the Purples. 1st and 10 Dragons from the purple 37. Bush under center. Same formation. Brown and Barber at the wings. Barber in motion. Give is to Barber. Running right, trying to get the edge. Cuts up around the 40. Is able to stay on his feet across the 35. Was smashed hard. Terrion Clark is there to make the big hit at the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 2. Will bring up a 2nd and 8 for the Dragons. And first down runs have not been all that effective for most of the night for Warren Central. It's been what they've been able to do on 2nd down and get into those, when they're able to get into those 3rd and mediums, 3rd, 4, 5, 6. They've been very successful on 3rd down. So that's going to be their goal here as they line up on 2nd and 8. 2nd and 8 from the Bowling Green 35. Bush under center. Brown and Barber at the wings. Rigsby the lone setback. Bowling Green shows a blitz again. Handoff. Rigsby over the left side of the line. Able to bounce off tacklers. Now drives the legs forward. Down inside the 30. A nice run by L.A. Rigsby to the 29-yard line of Bowling Green. A gain of 6. And they'll mark it shy of the 29. It's about the 29.5-yard line. A gain of about 5.5. It's going to be 3rd and a short 3. It's going to be 3rd and about 2.5 from just inside the Bowling Green 30. And this is what we said the Dragons wanted. They want to be in this situation. They've been successful. See if it continues. Bush under center. The wings are the same. Brown and Barber. Brown in motion. Give it to Brown. Looking to get the edge on the left side. Has the 30. Has a blocker. Able to dive over the blocker and be very close to the first down marker. Down to the 27-yard line. It's going to be close. It'll depend on the spot. And where they're spotting it, from this angle, I can't tell. It looks a little short. They're really eyeing it. I think we're going to have a measurement here. Nope. 4th and 1 from just outside that 27-yard line. We'll see if the Dragons go for it here. This one's going to get the crowd on its feet. Warren Central will go for it. The Warren Central crowd to its feet. The Bowling Green crowd cheering as well. A big play here for Warren Central. 4:50 left in the third. 10-8 Purples. Bush under center. Rigsby the lone setback. Brown and Barber at the wings. Barber in motion. Trying to draw him off sides, and they got him. They got Bowling Green off sides. The hard count from Michael Bush and a First down for the Dragons on the offsides call by on the offsides penalty by Bowling Green, and it's been that way all night long. Both teams have just been jumping and chomping at the bit at the line of scrimmage, and again it jumps up and bites the Purples. So it's going to be 1st and 10 Warren Central from the Bowling Green 22. Gutsy call by Mike Rogers, probably the only call though, out of field goal range and too close to punt obviously, so able to get the Purples offsides. Bush under center, Rigsby the lone setback again, Brown and Barber at the wings, Carpenter wide left. Give it to Barber, ran in motion, looking to run right now, tries to bounce outside of the 20. Spins down to near the 15-yard line. The hit was made and he was tackled by KJ Kofer. They're going to mark him at the 16. A gain of 6 on first down for Cortez Barber. So bonus first down yards that time for the Dragons, as they just haven't been able to pull off yardage that big on first down so far tonight, and that time they were able to. It's going to be 2nd and 4 Dragons from the Bowling Green 16. A time-consuming drive here from Warren Central. Clock down to 3:50 and counting in the third quarter. Bush under center. Again, Rigsby the lone setback. Carpenter wide to the left. Fumbled on the snap. Bush able to pick it up. Now he's going to try to run with it. Falls forward across the 15, able to get positive yardage to the 13-yard line. It's going to be a gain of about 2. They'll mark it actually at the 14. So it's going to be 3rd and less than 2 as they mark it just inside the 14. A fortunate play there on the fumble. That happened earlier. The Dragons fumbled one. It was Eric Brown, and the ball bounced right back up to him. That time Bush was able to pick up the fumble, spin his way for a couple of yards. Good presence of mind from the freshman. Bush lines up under center on 3rd down and 2 from the Bowling Green 14. Bush gives the Barber running right, cuts it up at the 15, has the yardage he needs as he drives forward to the 11. He'll be driven back there, but it'll be a 3-yard gain, and it'll be enough for another Warren Central first down. Tough running on the outside by Cortez Barber, and he was able to get enough for the first down. Terrion Clark was able to make the stop for the Purples, but not before Barber got the first down. They actually mark him at the 12. I thought he had the 11. It was closer than I thought, but nonetheless, just inside the 12. It is 1st and 10 Warren Central. Bush under center. Barber and Brown at the wings. Carpenter wide to the left. Rigsby in the backfield. Hand it to Brown. Running left. Spins against one tackle. Gets across the 10. That's where he goes down. Gain of about 2 for Eric Brown. Devin Daniel, Michael Bailey, Alfred Gilbert all in on that Bowling Green tackle. A gain of 1. They'll call it to the 10-yard line. Will be 2nd and 9 there. Dragons can still get a first down at about the Bowling Green 1.5. Clock continues to run. 2:20 to play in the third quarter and counting. 2nd and 9 Dragons from just inside the purple 10. Bush under center. Brown and Barber the wings. Rigsby the lone setback. Green wide to the right. Give it to Rigsby. A big hole up the middle inside the 5. Brought down right at the goal line. He will be just short. Inside the 1, L.A. Rigsby busts off a 9.5-yard run, and it's going to be 1st and goal. Warren Central from inside the purple 1. Michael Bailey, I believe, made the touchdown saving tackle for Bowling Green as the clock ticks under 2 minutes left in this third quarter. What a drive so far by the Dragons here and there. First possession of half number 2. Bush, we'll see if he drives the quarterback sneak again. He picks up the snap. He drives his way. He is into the end zone. Touchdown, Warren Central. Michael Bush with his 2nd touchdown on the ground of the night. A quarterback sneak again, and the Dragons have retaken the lead with 1:44 left in the third quarter. Incredible. What a drive by the Dragons. They've eaten a whole bunch of clock and were able to move the ball incredibly well. Here's the extra point try. Sergio Beltran Sosa off the hold of Denzel Carpenter. Snap wasn't the greatest. Carpenter got it down. Kick up and good with 1:44 remaining in the third quarter. Our score, Warren Central 15, Bowling Green 10. Incredible. What a drive that time by the Dragons. They took over. There was still near 10 minutes left in the third quarter. They were able to drive the ball right down the field, ate all kinds of clock. We said in the pregame that that's what they were going to want to do, is eat clock by keeping the ball on the ground, and they were able to do that right there. They only went to the air one time, I believe, and it was a 10-yard completion from Michael Bush to Denzel Carpenter. So the one time they did go to the air on third down, it was successful, but they only had to go to the air once. Were able to run the ball right at the Purples that time, and the Dragons have a 15-10 lead with 1:44 left in the third. Absolutely incredible what we're seeing unfolding here at Donaldson Stadium thus far. Samir Music to boot it away for the Dragons. Sam Howard, Terrion Clark back to return for Bowling Green. Music with the arm in the air. He's set to kick it away. It's a low lining kick. It's going to sail up, and it's going to be fielded just at the one by Clark. Runs ahead of the 10, at the 15, down the left side 20. Busts out of a tackle at the 30. Still on his feet, dragging a pile to the 35, and Terrion Clark will finally be brought down there. A 34-yard kick return for Terrion Clark to set the Purples up with good field position here with 1:34 left in the third and down 15-10. It will be Chandler Sears in at quarterback again for the Purples. Brandon Green is still the second running back along with Levance Anderson. Howard and Cole are the wide receivers. Levance Anderson the up back in an I formation. Green the deep back. From the 35, 1st and 10 Purples. Sears runs into Anderson as he hands him the ball. Was able to make the exchange though, and Anderson falls forward for 2 against the defender. It was Eufen Yearn that ripped Anderson to the ground. Anderson out to just past the 36-yard line. They'll call it it's a gain of about 1.5. We'll call it 2nd and 9 from the 36 for Bowling Green. 2nd and 9 from their own 36. Sears with 3 wideouts. Anderson the lone setback. Sears gives it to Anderson. Up the middle. Cut down nicely. Jonathan Thompson the first one to get there as he makes it out to the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 4 for Levance Anderson. We'll bring up a 3rd and 5 here for the Purples with 45 seconds remaining in the third quarter and counting. Actually, they don't mark it out to the 40. They mark it back at the 38, so that's only going to be a gain of 2. Will be 3rd and 7 Purples from their own 38. Sears will go from the shotgun with 4 wideouts. Anderson in the backfield to Sears' right. Sears looking to throw. Steps up, fires deep over the middle. It is incomplete. Looking for a diving Zach Williams. It was Devan Green that dove with him, was running with him step for step, and had him blanketed. It's 4th and 7 Bowling Green with 20 seconds remaining in the third quarter, and it looks as though they're going to send the punt team out. This might be the area of the field where we see Levance Anderson line up as the punter. He's still on the field, but so is Zach Williams, and it looks like he's going to drop back and be the punter. And Anderson, holding his left wrist down near his waist, runs off the field. We'll keep an eye on that. Levance Anderson's left wrist looks as though it's hurt. Williams takes the snap, rolls right, he'll punt it. Cortez Barber to return. He immediately signals fair catch and makes it back inside the Warren Central 30. They'll mark it at the 28, so that's where the Dragons will take over. 1st and 10 with 13 seconds left in the third quarter. And Bowling Green trainer Andrew Bolt looking at the left wrist of Levance Anderson, and he touched it just barely, and Anderson just absolutely winced in pain. That's something we'll have to keep an eye on here on the Bowling Green sideline. 1st and 10 Dragons from their own 28. Rigsby the lone setback as Bush goes under center with Brown and Barber at the wings. Carpenter wide to the left. Barber in motion. The give is to Rigsby. This time he's going to get nothing. Stood up as he got to the 25-yard line. Getting in the backfield and making the tackle was Franco Irvin with a big tackle. And that brings the Purples crowd, which has largely been on its hands for the night. The clock is not running for some reason. The clock should have been running after that play. I would say the Dragons are going to let this run out, though. But Irvin able to get in and make the tackle. Got the Purple crowd pretty amped up. It's a loss of about 2 back to the 26. So it's going to be a 2nd and 12 when we start the fourth quarter. We've reached the end of 3, and at the end of 3, our score, surprisingly, Warren Central 15, Bowling Green 10. Can the Dragons hang on and pull the upset? We'll find out in the fourth quarter. Back in a moment. You're watching Warren Central football on High School Zone Broadcasting.
Are you one of the millions of people who can't find the energy to make it through the workday? Have you considered early retirement? Maybe it's time to pack it in. You've had a good run.
Or you can just drink some coffee, you turkey! Come on down to Minimart, get a hot cup of joe! It's recession-proof. Sleepies, slice it with coffee! Got a case of the Mondays? Uppercut! Feeling blah? Karate it! Try a cappuccino, French vanilla. Cup of joe, we're everywhere!
Welcome back to Donaldson Stadium at Bowling Green High School. Do we have an upset in the making? At the end of 3, Warren Central leads Bowling Green 15-10 as we get set to start the fourth quarter. The Dragons will have the ball. It's going to be a 2nd and 12 from their own 26 after a 2-yard loss on the run by L.A. Rigsby, but certainly shocking to see this so far. Not many would have had this one predicted. And as the Dragons take the field, we see Marvin Miles in on offense, I think, for the first time I've seen him out there tonight. At the tight end spot. A little bit of a delay as the officials conferencing. Wow, they've got this marker way off. The ball's supposed to be at the 26-yard line. They had it marked at the 21. Now they move it to where it's supposed to be. We've already seen 5 downs for Bowling Green earlier in this game, and now nearly a travesty on that spot, but they do get it corrected. That's what's important. 2nd and 12 from their own 26 for the Dragons here. Rigsby the lone setback. Brown and Barber are the wings. Carpenter wide to the left. Here's Brown in motion. Give is to Brown, looking to turn the corner. Does at the 25, up at the 30, left side 35, at the 40. Brown finally drug down near the 45-yard line. So Eric Brown busts a big one, gets about 18 yards, and a Warren Central first down when they were backed up on 2nd and long. He's played an excellent game tonight, both offensively and defensively, has Eric Brown. They're going to mark it very near the 45, actually, so it's going to be closer to 19 for Eric Brown. 1st and 10, Dragons from their own 44.5. 11-40 and counting here in the fourth quarter. Bush under center. Brown and Barber are the wings. Rigsby the lone setback. Green wide to the left. Here's Brown in motion. Handoff, Rigsby over the left side of the pile. Able to drag it for a little ways. Gets across the 45 to about the 47-yard line. A gain of around 2 for L.A. Rigsby. Solid. The standard first down run for most of the night for the Dragons. They'll call it a gain of 2 out to the Warren Central 46-yard line. It's second and a pretty short 9 here is what they're going to call it from the 46. Bush under center. Again, Brown and Barber at the wings. This time Carpenter split wide to the left. Rigsby the lone setback. Barber in motion. They counter it to Brown. Looking to go up the middle. Bowling Green had that one snuffed out. No gain. There for the tackle for the Purples. Jack Miller and Franco Irvin all over that Eric Brown run. They give him a yard. Out to the 47. Will be 3rd and 8 for the Dragons here. Big play right here for Warren Central. If they can get a first down, would be very huge for their momentum and try to keep this going. Bush under center. Again, Rigsby the lone setback. DeVan Green is wide to the left. Barber and Brown are at the wings. Brown is in motion. It's a quarterback sneak, and they didn't see it coming. Bush takes it straight up the field, but he fumbles the football as he's hit across the 45. It's a scramble forward. We'll see who got it. The Purples come away with it. Michael Bush had the first down on the quarterback sneak, but lost the football. We'll see who comes up with it at the bottom of the pile for the Purples. Michael Bailey was there. I think the fumble was recovered by Houston Natcher. And the Purples are going to take over 1st and 10 from their own 44. It is Scooter Hollis in at quarterback at this crucial juncture. Brandon and Green, Levance Anderson in the backfield with him out of the shotgun. Hollis gives the Green, running left at the 45, cuts it up to the 50. Gain of 5 for Brandon Green before he's tackled by Eden Hadjikadinich.
Gain 5 yards.
It will be 2nd and 5 from midfield for the Purples as they're going to try to hurry it up a little bit, speed the pace up. Hollis out of the shotgun. Anderson and Green back there with him. 2 wideouts on 2nd and 5. Whistles before the snap. It came in from the back judge. We'll see what the flag is. And the Central player's clapping, and it's going to back Bowling Green up and make it 2nd and 10. False start against the Purples, so it's going to be 2nd and 10 Bowling Green from their own 45. It's like they got no gain on that first play. 9:37 to play in the game. 15-10 Warren Central in front of Bowling Green. Hollis out of the shotgun with Levance Anderson and Brandon Green back there with him. 2 wideouts. Williams to the right. Howard to the left. The snap, and Hollis wasn't expecting it to hit the ground. Now he picks it up, running left, and he's going to be brought down back at the 40-yard line. Running him down for Warren Central was Jonathan Deal. A loss of 4 as they mark it at the 41. Will bring up a 3rd and 14 here. And Bowling Green just looks all out of sorts right now. They mark it actually at the 40. It's going to be 3rd down and 15. Purples from their own 40. Hollis out of the shotgun. Anderson in the backfield right. 2 wideouts right. Hollis with the snap, rolls right, looking to throw, looking downfield. Now steps up, he's going to try to run, and he's going to be brought down shy of the 40. A couple of Dragons got in there to get him. Finishing off the tackle was Dennis Barco. We've called his name several times tonight. Hollis loses 2 more, will bring up a 4th and 17, and the Purples will have to punt with 8.5 to play. They marked it at the 40, actually, so Zach Williams will punt it for the Purples. Cortez Barber to return for the Dragons. Williams steps back, takes the snap, punts it away. High end over end kick. It will bounce at about the 35 and roll dead at the Warren Central 33. So the Dragons will take over at their own 33-yard line with 8:01 to play. And you know that objective number 1 for Coach Mike Rogers and the Dragons here is going to be to keep the ball on the ground and try to eat some clock, eat up yardage and the clock. That's the name of the game right now for Warren Central. With the ball and a 5-point lead with 8:01 to play in the ball game. 15-10, Warren Central in front. Bush under center. Brown and Barber are the wings with Rigsby in the backfield. Carpenter wide to the left. In motion came Barber. The give is on the counter to Brown, and he's not going to make it back to the line of scrimmage. Reaches the 30. That is it. It's going to be a loss of 3, and it'll be a 2nd down and 13 coming up for the Dragons. A host of Purples back there to get Eric Brown. And that's a good defensive play as the Purples really cranking up the defense here, down 5 points. So that accomplished one of the goals for Warren Central. It keeps the clock running, but didn't eat up any yardage. Each team with a full complement of 3 timeouts. Under 7.5 to play. Bush under center. Same formation. Rigsby the lone setback. Barber in motion. Barber takes the handoff. Running right. Cuts it up at the 30. Stays on his feet across the 30. Busts through a tackle at the 40. Still on his feet. Drags a defender across the 45. Finally brought down at the 47-yard line. Cortez Barber rips one off for 17, and he's slow to get up. First down for the Dragons, but Barber is still down. And the training staff out as Cortez Barber sits up and takes the helmet off. It was good to see him sit up. Perhaps took a shot to the head there. Barber rips off a 17-yard run for the first down And the chant goes out in the Warren Central student section. Down and to our left of Cortez Barber. He's up and he's going to jog off the field. Looks like he's okay. That's good news for the Dragons. We'll make it a 16-yard run out to the 46-yard line. And it'll be 1st and 10 Dragons from their own 46. What a big run for Cortez Barber. As again, each first down the Dragons get gives them another opportunity to run more time off the clock. Clock showing 7 minutes now. Bush under center. Rigsby the lone setback. This time it's Stovall and Brown at the wings. Stovall in motion. Give is to Rigsby over the right side. Nearly lost the football. Was able to hang on and back his way down and fall forward to the 49-yard line. Wow, he came close to fumbling that football. Gain of 3 as it is, though, for Rigsby. Although they didn't give him the spot. I thought he was going to get it all. They mark him back around the 47.5. It's 2nd and a long 8 coming up for the Dragons with 6.5 to play. Here's Bush. He'll go under center again. Again, it is Brown and Stovall at the wings. Rigsby the lone setback. Handoff, Rigsby over the left side. Powers across the 50 into Bowling Green territory. Brought down at the 48-yard line by a host of Purples. Give him 4 yards. It'll be a 3rd and 4 coming up here for the Dragons as we are halfway through quarter number 4. Will be a 3rd and 4 for the Dragons from the Purple 48-yard line. This time the Purple crowd rises to its feet, as does the Warren Central crowd. Everybody up. Big play here. Barber back in the game. He lines up at one of the wings. Rigsby the lone setback. Green wide to the right. Here's Barber in motion. Give is to Rigsby. Nearly tackled in the backfield. Able to bust through it. Busts across the 45. He's going to have the first down. Down to the 42-yard line. A big run for L.A. Rigsby on a pickup of 6. Rigsby nearly brought down in the backfield by a Purple defender, was able to run out of the arm tackle and get to the 42-yard line is where they're going to mark it, and a first down for Warren Central. 5:20 to play. The clock continues to tick as the Dragons continue to keep it on the ground. Still each team with 3 timeouts remaining. 1st and 10 for the Purple 42. Bush under center with Rigsby the lone setback. Here's Brown in motion. Gave it to Brown. He was had nowhere to go that time. Dropped for a loss of 1 or 2 as Michael Bailey had the containment very well and was right there to bring Eric Brown to the ground. Helped him up after the play, showing some nice sportsmanship helping him up there. It's going to be a loss of 1. Back to the 43. Will be 2nd and 11 from the Purple 43-yard line. That clock does continue to run now. It'll be around the 4.5-minute mark remaining in the 4th quarter. Warren Central 15, Bowling Green 10. Here's Bush under center. Barber in motion. The Purples jumped early. They were way off sides. They're going to try to say they were drawn off. It was Chase Proctor who got way off sides, and that is another mental mistake by the Purples. It's going to give the Dragons a free 5 yards, and it continues this theme we've seen all night as the fronts on both sides, no matter who it's been on both sides of the ball, have been very jumpy. And I'll tell you what, Bowling Green making a lot more mental mistakes than we've really seen them make than you usually see them make. In crunch time, they're making some pretty crucial mistakes. It's going to be 2nd and 5 for Central, and that allows them to run a little more clock off on the penalty. They call it at the 37-yard line. Bush under center with Barber in motion. The give is to Barber running right. Whistles and flags before the play, and I think the Dragons might have given those 5 yards right back. And they did. It's going to make it 2nd and 10 now. So, as we say, back to that same point, it's been just very I don't know how many false starts or offsides we've had combined in this game, but it's been a lot for quite a few yards because these teams just really anxious to get after it, and that only amps up a little bit as it is crunch time now. 4:03 remaining in the ball game. 15-10 Warren Central in front after the penalty. The clock will wind. It'll tick down under 4 minutes here before the Dragons run this next play. Again, each team with all 3 timeouts remaining. You can bet Warren Central not going to be using theirs at this point, but the Purples biding their time, waiting for their chance to use theirs. 2nd and 10 from the Bowling Green 42. Brown in motion. Fake the pitch. Hand to Rigsby. Over the left side. He's got to hold the 35. To the middle of the field. 30, 25, 20. Randomly run down. L.A. Rigsby inside the 20. He busts one off for a big gain. About 14 yards for L.A. Rigsby. They mark it at the 17. Make it 25 yards for Rigsby and a first down for Warren Central with 3:34 to play. Clock stops while they move the chains, and now it winds. The fake pitch and then the handoff to L.A. Rigsby. Very effective for the Dragons. And now the Purples have to be thinking about using those timeouts. 3:20 to play. Here's Bush under center with Rigsby the lone setback. Brown and Barber at the wings. Carpenter is wide to the left from the 17. Bush was wrapped up. He's still able to get the handoff away out to the 15-yard line as he handed it to L.A. Rigsby. That could have been disastrous. A gain of 2 for Rigsby. Will be 2nd and 8. Whistles, and I believe we have a Bowling Green timeout. The clock is stopped. Yes, the Bowling Green did call a timeout. Mike Rogers saying you got to wind the clock, but the Purples burn their first timeout of the half. They've got 2 remaining. Stops the clock with 3:06 to play. Warren Central 15, Bowling Green 10. The Dragons 3 minutes 6 seconds away from pulling a monumental upset here. Most people didn't give the Dragons a chance to be within 3 or 4 touchdowns of the Purples. Nonetheless, be in the lead with 3:06 remaining in this game. The Warren Central fans in attendance are ready to explode, and I think Mike Rogers is as well. And kind of a pride game for the Dragons at this point to give them momentum, because really unlikely that they'll even be able to improve their district position with a win here, but they're out there giving it their all. Michael Bush has played a great game. He's turned it over 3 times, but has been able to bounce back from it and not really let that affect him, and that's a pretty decent sign of maturity in the freshman. 3:06 to play, 2nd and 8 from the Bowling Green 15. Here's Barber in motion. Bush keeps it on the quarterback sneak, and he's going to be wrestled down and driven back as he made it probably out to about the 14-yard line. A pickup of maybe 1 for Michael Bush. And they'll call it no gain, so they keep it at the 15. It's going to be a 3rd and 8. Timeout Bowling Green. They spin their 2nd timeout of the half. They have 1 remaining. 3:02 to play. A lot of confidence shown by Mike Rogers there in Michael Bush as he ran the same play that Bush fumbled on a little bit earlier. And he shows a lot of confidence in the freshman to go back to the play, run the quarterback keeper again, and Bush just didn't have a hold there, but did hold on to the ball, and that's, I mean, he's showing every confidence in Michael Bush right now is head coach Mike Rogers. What a game played here by the Dragons. Just a defensive struggle both ways. That time-consuming drive they put together in the 3rd quarter. The difference right now, a 15-10 advantage with 3:02 to play. And a guy that just played so well tonight is Eric Brown. He's come up with a couple of big runs for the Dragons when they needed it. He's made some spectacular defensive plays. Everything they've needed, he's come up with so far. We'll see what happens here. 3rd and 8 from the Bowling Green 15. It's Bush under center. Rigsby the lone setback. Brown and Barber are at the wings. Here's Barber in motion. Bush keeps it, rolls out to the right, and he's going to be brought down back at the 20-yard line. They were trying to strip him with Bowling Green. The Purples had that one snuffed out well. Host of tacklers in there, including Alfred Gilbert and Devin Daniel. And the Purples spin their final timeout. They've got none remaining with 2:58 left in this 4th quarter. It's going to be 4th and 15, maybe 16, as they mark the ball at the 20 or 21-yard line. Would be a 37 or 38-yard field goal at this point for the Dragons. And it is decision time now for Mike Rogers. If you kick the field goal, Beltran Sosa can get it there. But it'll be a struggle. The wind is what wind there is, seems to be with the Dragons at this point as they move left to right. A field goal would make it an 8-point game, and the Purples would only be able to tie with these 2 minutes and 58 seconds. However, if they, on 4th and 14 is what we show on the scoreboard. They're calling it at the 20. Awfully tough to go for it with being that far away. So we'll see. It seems as though and being at the 20, even if he misses it, hopefully he'll be able to boot it into the end zone, and then the Purples would take over at the 20 anyway. So we'll see what happens. Does not look like it's going to be a field goal. Dragons are going for it on 4th and 14 from the Bowling Green 20. It is Bush under center, Rigsby in the backfield. Brown and Barber are at the wings. Here's Barber in motion, trying to draw the Purples off sides. They might call a timeout here. This might just be a ploy, and they are. So Coach Rogers, still with 3 timeouts in the bank, decides to try to draw the Purples off sides. He spins the Dragons' first timeout of this second half. They've got 2 remaining now. The Purples are out of timeouts with 2:58 to play. Warren Central with a 15-10 lead over Bowling Green. And I would fully expect to see Sergio Beltran Sosa on the field here to try what would be about a 37, maybe a 38-yard field goal. And he is warming up on the sideline. I think that's what we're going to see. And what a big kick it'll be. If he can make it, it would make it an 8-point game, and the Purples would have to get a touchdown and a 2-point conversion just to tie. If he misses, it stays a 5-point game, and the Purples need a touchdown to take the lead and possibly take the win. So a lot riding on this next play to be certain. Will not lock it up, but would certainly put the Dragons in a good spot. It's going to be a 38-yardy. Sergio Beltran Sosa will kick it off the hold of Denzel Carpenter with 2:58 to play from right in the middle of the field. Snap pretty good. Hold down, kick up on the way. It's got a lot of juice. It is good with 2:54 to play. Warren Central leads Bowling Green 18-10 after a 38-yard field goal from Sergio Beltran Sosa. Incredible. Exactly the type of drive the Dragons were looking for. Were able to eat some clock, and then they got 3 points to cap it. And now the best the Purples can do on this drive is tie it. So here we go. The ball game rests on the Bowling Green offense and the Warren Central defense. The Dragon defense has stepped up huge so far. We'll see if they can keep it going for one more drive. Bowling Green out of timeout, so one stop. And the Dragons will have this one in hand. 2:54 away from an incredible upset. The ball is not up on the tee, and Music was set to kick it away. So Mere Music will boot it. Terrion Clark and Sam Howard back deep to return for the Purples. Music retees. It's starting to get pretty windy here. The wind is with the Dragons, so Music a good chance of putting this one in the end zone. Here is the kick. High liner. It's gonna land about 3 yards deep in the end zone, and Samir Music with his second touchback of the night. Couldn't come at a bigger time. 2:52 to play. Bowling Green takes over 1st and 10 from its own 20. We'll see who comes out at quarterback for this drive. It's going to be Scooter Hollis for the Purples. Out of the shotgun, Hollis, 1st and 10 for their own 20. Here's it's Green in the backfield right, I believe. Hollis takes the snap, back to throw. Looking left, under pressure, he's hit and brought down back at the 10-yard line. The sack by Eufen Yern. A loss of 10, and Hollis is hurt. They mark it back at the 11-yard line will go as a loss of 9, and Hollis is still hurt. You hate to see this. Coach Kevin Wallace out to attend to him along with the training staff. 2:43 to play. And now trainers coming in even from the Warren Central sideline as Hollis got lit up that time by Eufin Urian. He took a shot as Urian was quick to get in the backfield, and that's something this Dragon defense has done all night long. They've been able to get in the backfield and get to the Purple quarterback. Neither one has been able to get away from it. Neither Chandler Sears nor Scooter Hollis has been able to avoid it. And now the sophomore Hollis is down on the field still. Just an incredible game we're seeing here. 2:43 left. Warren Central leads 18-10. And Hollis still down on his back here, and the Dragons all down to a knee for Scooter Hollis. Jonathan Thompson comes over and offers him a good luck as he gets to his feet. Good sportsmanship there from Thompson, as we've seen things really kind of clean up here in the second half both ways. And Hollis gingerly walks off the field. Chandler Sears in the game at quarterback. They mark it at about the 11-yard line. Going to be 2nd and 19 from their own 11. Sears out of the shotgun. Back to throw. Looks right. Fires right. A lot of room. It's complete to Wes Cole. Down the right side at the 15. Tripped up and brought down. A great tackle over there by DeMonte Smith. They say he made the sideline. They're going to mark him at about the 17. It would be a gain of around 6, maybe 7 yards. Would bring up a 3rd and 12 with 2:33 to play. It is going to be 3rd and 13 from their own 17 with 2:33 to play. Sears out of the shotgun. Back to throw. Stepping up. Now he's going to tuck it. He's going to try to run. He's run down from behind at the 19-yard line. Got 2 more, but that's not going to be enough. In on the play for the Dragons was Jonathan Deal. Running Sears down from behind. Will bring up a 4th and about 12 from their own 18. This is the ball game. 4 wideouts for the Purples. Sears back to throw. Steps up all day. Now rolls out to his left. Now he's going to tuck it at the 10. He's at the 15, at the 20. He's run out of bounds at the 22-yard line. And that's going to be a turnover on downs. He's nowhere close to the first down. I believe they mark it at the 25. It's a solid gain of about 6, but that's not going to be enough. 1:53 left and a turnover on downs. And this Warren Central crowd comes alive. No timeouts left for the Purples. All the Dragons have to do is kneel on the football. And Coach Kevin Wallace gathers his guys on the sideline. He's talking to him right now. Interesting to know what he's saying. Bush under center. He'll go to a knee. The snap. Drops back a little bit. Now down to a knee. The clock starts. No timeouts left again for the Purples. 18-10 Warren Central. And the Purples will fall. The Dragons will pull the monumental upset here. Incredible. 1:30 left. Dragons are going to run the play clock down as much as they can. They might not take any chances. They might even burn a timeout here after the play clock is down to 1. Now Bush quickly up to the line. Under center. Rogers telling him snap the ball. He drops back. We had a fumbled snap, but the Dragons were able to fall on it. Still on top of the ball, it was Cortez Barber who got on it. He didn't want to let it go. 3rd down now. Clock continues to run. They just now set the ball for the play clock. One more kneel down, and the Dragons will go home with the victory. waiting until the last possible second to snap the ball. Bush quickly under center, takes the snap, back several steps. Now we'll get to an E just before the defense hits him, and that is going to do it. 25 seconds on the clock, ball not set, and the Dragons will come onto the field. Coach Rogers, his first game as Central head coach, gets a hug from Jonathan Thompson. The Dragons about to mob Coach Rogers at midfield as Coach Wallace and Coach Rogers shake hands, and that is going to do it. The final 3 seconds tick away. The students storm the field for Warren Central. They have pulled the upset. It is a final. Warren Central beats Bowling Green 18-10. An incredible night for the Dragons against all odds. A freshman quarterback starting. They pull the upset over the powerhouse Bowling Green by the final of 18-10. What an incredible win tonight for Warren Central. And now the players are going to head over and celebrate with all the students who have stormed the field at Bowling Green. They've taken over Donaldson Stadium. A stunning upset here. One of the top teams in 5A goes down, as now comes the majority of the players after they finish shaking hands at midfield. What a scene we see here at Donaldson Stadium. Absolutely incredible. A scoreless first quarter and then a 26-yard touchdown run by Levance Anderson put Bowling Green up 7-0, and he thought, uh-oh, here we go. But then Warren Central was able to drive it right back. A nice Denzel Carpenter kickoff return to the Bowling Green 30 led to a 1-yard touchdown run by Michael Bush, and then the Dragons went for 2 after a penalty on Bowling Green. Eric Brown took it in for 2, made it 8-7 Central. 40-yard Zach Williams field goal just before the half made it 10-8 Bowling Green, and now the Dragons come over to see their fans here in the stands. We might get a fight song away from Dragon Stadium here as they're going to come all the way up into the bleachers. What a sight here tonight. Just an incredible upset. The happiness cannot be measured right now for everyone associated with this Dragon program as the players making their way into the stands. In the third quarter, a great time-consuming drive by the Dragons led to another Michael Bush 1-yard touchdown run. It made it 15-10. And then late in the fourth, after yet another sustained drive by the Dragons, Sergio Beltran Sosa polished it off with a 38-yard field goal to make it 18-10. And that's how the game finished up, as a great defensive stand as the Dragons were able to get to the Purples quarterbacks on the last drive, and nothing was able to work for the Purples tonight as the Dragons pull the upset by the final over Bowling Green of 18-10. What a night we've got tonight. Again, thank you for joining us here at Donaldson Stadium. As the players up in the stand, we're about to get the fight song here. They're lining up for the fight song. As certainly the biggest win in the young tenure of Mike Rogers. And here, the Warren Central fight song ringing out here at Donaldson Stadium. An incredible sight, to be sure. There you go, the popcorn flying. What a win for Warren Central. This one's going to carry over for quite a while. There's no doubt about it. Everyone in a good move at this end of the stadium, as the Dragons take to the stands and embrace everyone here. Again, we thank you for joining us here on our coverage on High School Zone Broadcasting. For everyone with thehighschoolzone.com, for Patrick Edmondson, I am Nick Curran. Again, thank you for joining us. Warren Central, the upset winner tonight over Bowling Green by the final of 18-10. Have a good night from Bowling Green.